today. So I'm gonna be doing the Booktube Newbie tag, even though I'm not even, like, I'm still new, but this is like my 6th video. I just like forgot that Booktube Newbie tags were a thing until one popped up on my feed, and then I was like, oh wait, I want to do one. So I'm doing it a little bit late. This is like my 6th video. But I still thought it would be fun to do, to get to know more about me, and yeah, that's it. Okay, I have the questions written down. There's like a couple different newbie tags. I watched a lot of these newbie tags on YouTube before making my own, because I was like, I want to get the best questions. And I feel like almost every single person does these questions. So I'm going to do them too, because I am not original. And the first question is, why did you start this channel? Well, I love to talk. I love to do this. And this channel, that's all I have to do is just chat. Especially, I love talking, especially about books. And this is a booktube, so obviously I'm going to talk about books. And that is just so fun to me. Also, I want to be able to connect with people who also read books, because in my life, I don't have many of those people. My sister reads sometimes. I have a friend that reads sometimes. But like, I don't have a lot of reading friends or family members. And so I have no one to talk to about my books. And that is a tragedy. So I made this account, and we can talk in the comments. Ooh! Type away and give me your theories, your opinions, all your things, and I will reply, and we can chat about books together. How fun! And then the next question is, what are some fun and unique things you bring to Booktube? My unbeatable sense of humor and my swag. Swag. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm not unique. I'm kind of basic, to be honest. I don't know how to answer this one. Question number 3. What are you most excited for with starting this channel? Just being able to connect with people. Like I said, don't have many people in my life who read, and I want to meet more of those people, and I want to be able to talk about my theories and opinions and all that good stuff. And I can do that with you guys, and I can listen to your opinions, and I love talking about my opinions. I also like taking in other people's opinions and debating and listening and just all that fun stuff. Also, my hair. Why are the curls looking so good today? Maybe it's the lighting, because usually I record from my room and it's dark down there. All my walls are black, my bed frame is dark brown, everything's dark down there, so I feel like you can't notice as much. But now I'm in the light and my hair looks good. Oh my gosh, I look amazing. And then the next question is, why do you love reading? And so many reasons. I feel like most of them are going to sound really cringy saying out loud, but I feel like you guys are also bookish people, so you'll get it, even if it does sound a little cliche. But like, being able to jump into a new world, that is so fun. Especially with, like, that's why I read fantasy. I love entering those new worlds, and I just feel like fantasies are so creative, and I'm just like mind blown at how someone could create that. Like, I love reading fantasy and just being constantly mind blown that someone made that world and that magic system. I think it's so much fun to just be in a new world. The reason I love romance, I love the butterflies I get. I read predominantly romance, and just the butterflies I get and the feelings and the happiness it brings me. I just love reading romance so much. It makes me so happy. And then thrillers. Sometimes I'm just in the mood to be on the edge of my seat, and thrillers can do that. I guess the takeaway is that I just like that books can bring out so many different emotions in you. Also, I love a good quote in books. You can find so many good quotes in books, and I don't know, I just like fangirling. And with books you can do that. Books, TV shows, movies, like, I just love to fangirl. And then sorry, I have an itch. The next question is, what book or series got you into reading? And oh my gosh, the memories this brings back. I remember exactly what book it was. This brings back so many memories. I remember this book vividly, and like this moment in my life vividly, because it changed the trajectory of my life. Okay, it was in 4th grade. I am telling you, I remember this so vividly. It was in 4th grade. We used to have independent reading time. We used to have to read for 5 minutes a day in class, and usually during this time, I wouldn't even read. I would like whisper with the person next to me. I would do everything but read. I'd probably sneak my phone into my lap and like play Tetris or something. I was not reading. But my teacher made me go to the library and pick a new book because she saw I wasn't reading. I was caught. And I randomly just picked up this book called Nerds, not knowing it would change my life forever. I picked this book up, and then I went back to class, and I sat down and I like read a page, and I was like, wait, why is this good? and then I read for the whole 25 minutes, which now I can read for 25 minutes no problem. Back then, I was not reading for 25 minutes ever. I was not reading. But I read that book, and I loved it so much and I didn't want to stop reading. And then I remember I went home and I finished the book, the whole book. It was a pretty chunky book. I don't remember how many pages it was, but I remember it was pretty thick, especially for someone who doesn't read, to go home and then read the whole book in a day. That was wild for me. And I remember I was sitting in the living room and my parents were so confused. They kept looking at me like, what are you doing? Why are you reading? Like, because I did not read back then and they were so confused. But that book was so good. And I finished that one, immediately went to the next book in the series. I don't know what it was about that series. I loved it so much. And then after that, I read that series. And then I got into Fablehaven by Brandon Mole. This wasn't even a school library book. After I read Nerds, I'm telling you, that book changed my brain chemistry. I don't know what happened to me when I read that book, but all of a sudden I like wanted to read. And that was never me before. Reading was like, used to be a chore, something I was forced to do by my parents and my teachers. And then I read that book and all of a sudden I actually wanted to read. So then I got a library card, a public library card, and I checked out Fablehaven by Brandon Mole and read that whole series too. Loved that. And then I got into Wattpad. And it was like 6th grade to 8th grade. No. 6th grade to like my freshman year of high school, I read only Wattpad books. Wattpad, that was a crazy time. I was reading as soon as I got home from school. I'd do my homework and then I would read from like 6 o'clock to 4 in the morning. I don't know what was wrong with me back then. I literally could not stop reading. Like every single day I was staying up so late to read. It was literally 4 in the morning. I don't know how I was doing this. Now I get so sleep deprived I can barely stay up past 2. Back then I was staying up until 4, 5, 6 in the morning reading Wattpad books. And I loved it. That was a time. That was a great time. I had no worries. I was just in there, in my bed, under the covers, reading Bad Boy Good Girl and Enemies to Lovers books all day long. And then when I got into my sophomore year or my junior year, I started to read published books. But like middle school was like only Wattpad books, and then there was like 3 or 4 books I was forced to read for school that I remember. Probably more than 4, but I only remember like 4 because I only remember the Wattpad books. Yeah, I think I like went way past the question. I think the question was like, what book got you into reading, and then I just told you like my whole reading journey and how it came to be. So I got a little sidetracked, but it's fine. Now you know. I'm sure you guys were curious. I hope. Otherwise, sorry. And then the next question is, what question would you ask your favorite booktuber? I don't know. That's kind of a weird one. Like if I sat down to chat with them, I feel like I wouldn't be like interviewing them. I feel like I'd just be like chatting like friends. I guess if I had to choose a question, like, I don't know. I need to think. Oh, I guess because I'm pretty new to editing, I guess I would just ask them editing questions, like how to do this. I like how you do this. How do you do this? My question phrasing skills are not great, but I just see like some of the booktubers I watch, they do the coolest editing things, and I don't know how to do any of that because I'm still pretty new to editing, and I would ask them questions about that to make my videos better and more entertaining. And then the next question is, what challenges do you think, wait, what was it? I just read it and I forgot. What challenges do you think starting a booktube will be the hardest to overcome? I feel like for me, it's going to be time management, just finding time to film and edit, because I do have a full-time job. I'm literally filming this in the parking lot on my break at work because I'm struggling to find time at home because I got family obligations, and then I got work 40 hours a week, plus I live an hour away from my job. So it's like 2 hours of driving plus 8 hours working plus my 1 hour break. It's just getting hard to find time to film and edit. That's why I'm only posting like once a week. I'm trying to figure out how to better manage my time so I can post on here a little more. Also, I'm trying to optimize my break time. But sometimes from my breaks, I just am lazy. So I don't do this. This is the first time I'm actually filming on my break. But yeah, I think that's going to be the hardest for me, is just finding the time to do all this. But I'm gonna make it work because this is already so fun for me. I've posted like 4 videos and I'm already having so much fun with it and meeting new people. And I love the editing process. I'm not good at it, but I love it. I love filming and talking, and I'm just having a great time. So I will find the time, but that's probably gonna be the hardest thing for me. Next question, when did you start reading? I just told you. It was like 4th grade when I really started to read, and then never looked back. The next question is, where do you read? Mostly my bed. You will see in my reading vlogs, I hardly get up from my bed. I am so lazy at home. Besides, like, when I have to do something for my family. Otherwise, like, when I'm alone and just doing what I want, I'm literally always on the bed. Sometimes I sit in my beanbag. Sometimes I read in the car. Sometimes I read in the break room at work on my break. If I decide to stay in there, I don't know why I'm putting my hand on the ceiling. But usually my bed. That is the place to be. Because it's comfy and I can get under the cover. Comfy pillow behind me. It's just the most comfortable place for me. Oh, sometimes I read on the couch too. If I feel like sitting in the living room, but usually I'm a bedroom body. I swear I never leave my bedroom. Then the next question is, what kind of books do you like to read? I mostly read romance and fantasy, or romancy, but I read a little bit of everything. I'm not opposed to reading any genre. Nonfiction is probably the one I'm most iffy about. I read like maybe one nonfiction book a year. But I am trying to get more into it. I just have to force myself. But any fictional genre, give it to me. Give it to me. I would read anything. Sci-fi, horror, thriller, give them all to me. I'll give anything a shot, but my favorites are romance and fantasy for sure. And that was the last question. I wish there was more questions. I love talking, like I said. I love talking and answering questions about myself. That was actually so fun. Unfortunately, that is the end though. So, bye. If you guys want to answer the questions, I can put them in the description below and then you can answer them yourself. I can get to know you, you can get to know me. It's like, what's that word? Vis-a-vis? Is that the word? Where we like do Tracy's? I don't know. I'm gonna Google that. I feel like that's the word, but is it? I don't know. Bye!